The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Greetings, everybody, from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. We're at Centerville Bank Stadium tonight for Prinx Tire's USL Cup as the championship side, Rhode Island, welcome Westchester SC out of USL League One. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our entire crew. We look at the Group 5 standings, and it's pretty simple. Rhode Island and Westchester both need to win in regulation tonight. Anything other than that, and they'll be put firmly behind the 8 ball for their chances of winning the group. Gary, we start with Rhode Island's journey to get here. An incredible win on penalties away to rivals Hartford, followed up by a really tough loss to League One Portland.
Yeah, Coco Vegas with a vital save in that particular match. A goal here from Dorsey, no longer with the club, but it wasn't enough. They scored twice, this being the first for Portland Hearts of Pine, and that is what has put Rhode Island in a very difficult position now. 2 points behind the leaders, Hartford.
But on big nights like this, when Rhode Island need a win, they tend to turn to J.J. Williams.
Brilliant player, just absolutely wonderful. Got 2 goals against Brooklyn, right foot shot and a header. Got 2 against Charleston, left foot shot and a header. He's such a powerful number 9, holds the ball up well. He could be an absolute handful for Westchester tonight.
Always fun to see J.J. Williams out there on the big stage. For Westchester, very similar path. They won on penalties earlier in Prinx Tire's Cup, but they followed it up to a really devastating loss to the Cosmos on match day 2.
Yeah, Daniel Burker with a penalty, with a goal, sorry, and then there's a penalty at the end of it. But they did come back in the next match here. Header from Blumstein, just not enough though. They were 2-up with 10 minutes to go. Coffee breaks during the dying moments, and they lose by 3 goals to 2.
A very dejecting loss for George Jokai's group. However, if they pull off the upset tonight, led by Kyle Evans, Westchester could potentially get back on track.
It's amazing to think this young man, 20 years of age, is actually captain today. He's the second youngest player in the team, so that gives you an indication of his maturity. Also scored against NYCFC and won Knoxville, so he can get forward and score goals at times.
It's the second all-time meeting between Rhode Island and Westchester, with just about it all on the line, even on match day 3 in Prinx Tire's USL Cup. Both teams need a win. Lineups and kickoff from Pawtucket coming up next.
Progress means achieving goals together. It's showing up every day with a trusted team, creating the right game plan, and pushing forward for the win. At Centerville Bank, we take a team-first approach to help turn obstacles into victories. As the official bank of Rhode Island FC, we know achieving your goals happens when we work together. That's what we call progress on purpose. Centerville Bank. Progress on purpose.
You may think the nicest moments happen once you've arrived at your destination. At Breeze, we think they happen all along the way.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
That was so nice.
Whether you're kicking back in Breeze Ascent or just enjoying time together in family seating, we take creating nice moments seriously, so you're ready for the rest of the journey ahead. When it's all over, the nicest moment might just be planning your next trip. Breeze. Seriously nice.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
There's nothing more American than high gas prices. When you're at the pump, you could spend $60, $70, even $80 just to fill up. Or ride RIPTA and keep more money in your pocket. Plus, save money on parking. For less than the cost of a cup of coffee, RIPTA gets you where you need to go. Drive less, save more, ride RIPTA. Visit RIPTA.com to plan your trip today.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Prinx Tires, the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup, and by Rhode Island Energy, Atlantic Beverage, Norfolk Power Equipment, and Vitalden. Sean and Gary back here with you. Starting 11s for both teams. We start with Rhode Island and the hosts, led by Cano Smith.
3 changes to the team that lost to Indy 11. Frank Nadase comes in for Grant Stoneman is on the bench. Noah Fuson starts. Jorge Quizera on international duty. And the third change, Petty Rodriguez starts. Leo Afonso goes to the bench.
Both Rhode Island and Westchester need to win. The visitors out of League One line up like this under the tutelage of George Jokai.
6 changes, so I'm just going to give you those that are coming in, not those that are going out. Tim Timchenko's in, Jonathan Jimenez, Alexei Armas, Samore Powder, Brian Vasquez, and Miguel Diaz. That's a lot of changes to bring into a team.
Now, the last time these two teams met was April 27th last year. It was in Prinx Tires USL Cup play in Group 4. Rhode Island went to Westchester and were 4-1 winners. I'm sure Cano Smith and Rhode Island would love to sign up for a similar scoreline tonight, knowing that both teams really need to win this game in the 90 minutes to claim all 3 points. Any other result would give the likes of particularly Hartford a potential clear path towards the top here of Group 5 on Round 3's day of action in Prinx Tires USL Cup play. Denny Kalasanak is our head referee, and we are off and running from Centerville Bank Stadium in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Sean St. Jacques, Man United legend, Gary Bailey, our entire crew. It is great to have you with us. Westchester get us started. They're going from left to right. Rhode Island defending on the right-hand side of your screen here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. We also welcome those watching on MSG networks in the New York area and on MyRI in Rhode Island. A good defensive stand there for Rhode Island. Referee gives the hosts a free kick. Here is Clay Holstead for Rhode Island, currently sitting in 9th place in the USL Championship, just outside of those playoff positions in the Eastern Conference. Agustin Pitti Rodriguez tried to fit that through a tight angle, then tried to fly back in to win it back, but Westchester controls just outside their own 18-yard box. But it's a poor clearance from Luca Marinelli, and Rhode Island quickly gets it back. Let's look at tonight's keys to the game. They're presented by Flood 4. We start with Rhode Island on the defensive side of things.
Rhode Island all about elite defending, according to Connor Smith. He says, I want more clean sheets and I want them regularly. And he says to do that, we have to be elite defenders. So he'll be focusing on his back 4 and keeper for Westchester. Get players behind the ball, according to coach George Jokai. We're going to play sort of a more low block. It's the only chance we have, only chance I think they have of winning this game is to try and be defensively tight and catch them on the counter-attack.
No Darce tried to volley that on target as it sort of bounced around the penalty area. It's going to deflect out for a corner.
Well, this is why they have to get numbers behind the ball to the defensive point. They're just so good, Rhode Island, putting pressure on JJ Williams, causing a few problems, and even a central defender like Frank Nadase, pretty useful in that box, any loose ball.
Well, this corner kick is presented by Chick-fil-A Attleboro during all RIFC home matches. If RIFC score from a corner, show your match ticket at a Chick-fil-A Attleboro location to get a free chicken sandwich. Well, they nearly got it there, headed off the line. The follow-up volley, he's skewered just wide by Altair Sanchez. 2 Rhode Island chances, both are missed.
Again, good pressure coming from the home side from this set piece. The header coming in, but cleared off the line. Good positioning there by Westchester to have players in all the right positions, and that was Samori Powder who gets it off the line, as you say. Aldair Sanchez having a crack, but well wide. Another shot. Wow, this is one-way traffic.
Early pressure, dare I say, and positive play from Rhode Island. Marinelli, another big save for Westchester. George Jokai told us he's been a breath of fresh air It's really coming into the fold back in May, and he's been very, very early and active in this cup tie. Rodriguez resets for Rhode Island. The cut in field from Nick Scardina. Finds Holstead. Holstead driving forward. Gets it back from Sanchez. Nodarse. Crossfield ball looking for J.J. Williams. It's over his head. It's out for a goal kick. Well, tonight's health report is brought to you by Ortho Rhode Island, the official orthopedic partner and team physicians of RIFC. Learn more at orthopedicsri.com. The likes of Payne, Williams, and Bora out for Westchester. No Williams, C.J. Williams that is, and Hamidi Jobe, who's had a very good season for Rhode Island defensively, is on the mend as well. Dwayne Atkinson and Jojea Quizera also both away on international duty with Jamaica and Rwanda, respectively.
Just good for Westchester here to get their foot on the ball. And as I say that, they give it away. Just under so much pressure first couple of minutes. They just needed a spell here of keeping possession, knocking it around, get used to the turf they're playing on and the unfamiliar ground.
It is Westchester's first trip to Centerville Bank Stadium. Here is Samori Powder on the near side for the League One outfit. Checks it down the cross into the middle. Nobody really there for the visitors. Koke Vegas collects. We'll follow RIFC on social media for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes access, club news, and the best moments from the season. Follow RIFC on Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok today.
A little chance there a moment ago for Westchester. Ball put in there by Max Jennings and way too close to Koke Vegas, but they're not going to get a ton of chances going forward, you wouldn't think. It should be, in theory, it should be Rhode Island who just put them under continuous pressure. And you bear in mind, Rhode Island have scored 17 in 10 USL games, third highest scorers in the East behind Tampa Bay and Lou City. So you're pretty much guaranteed that they're going to be knocking on that door, and Connor Smith will expect a lot of pressure and goals coming from his attack here tonight.
You see there just the one home loss for Rhode Island in all competitions this season. That was at the hands of Jay Heaps' Birmingham Legion a few weeks back. Birmingham were 3-1 winners here in Pawtucket. That early ball is played up ahead looking for J.J. Williams. And his pressure forces it out of play. However, Williams was offside, and it all becomes a moot point. It's a Westchester free kick.
You mentioned earlier how Rhode Island have to win this and hope Hartford drops some points. I'm not so sure that for Westchester the focus is as much on this. They've had 6 losses and 1 draw from their last 7. I would think that George Jokai, with these 6 changes, is just wanting a good performance here tonight, build up some confidence before they get ready for next Wednesday's league match. They've got to get back on the winning ways. What are they, sitting bottom or joint bottom of the table in League One? They've got to find a winning run and not necessarily win here tonight, just have a good performance, put up a real good battle. I think that's what George Jokai will want from his team.
Yeah, you're right, Gary. Level on points at the bottom of League One on 7 points, but they're in 16th place above bottom on goal differential. Cross into the middle is swept up by Karifa Yao, and Rhode Island clears. The other stat that Westchester's really trying to overcome in some ways tonight is their poor road record, not just this season, but we're going back nearly a calendar year. June 18th, 2025 was the last time Westchester won a road game. They won 2-1 at Forward Madison. We're about 12 days nearly to a year, full calendar year, since Westchester SC in any competition have won a road game. 0 wins, 3 draws, 13 defeats in those games. Here is J.J. Williams, a one-man wrecking crew. But Westchester have enough numbers, just about enough numbers behind to slow him down.
And chatting to George Jokai, he's still feeling fairly confident about his team and the way they're playing, saying, you know, we've been in most of the games, maybe 1 or 2 individual errors have cost us, but you do want to change around stats like you mentioned. You don't want to be known as the team that can't win away from home, because you've got to get points on the road if you're going to do well. Certainly if you get to the playoffs, you've got to start winning on the road, unless you finish at the very, very top. So it's important for them to break this run. I don't know if they can do it here tonight. I doubt it very much, but very soon they've got to start picking up some points on the road. Otherwise, this could be a really bad season for Westchester.
On the more recent side of things, Westchester are winless in their last 7 in all competitions. 6 of those have been defeats. They haven't won a game in nearly 2 months. Rhode Island are in behind here. They tiptoe the byline. The follow-up attempt is going to be held onto by Marinelli. There may have been a foul in the mix there as well.
Goalkeeper nice and brave at the end of all this. The ball's bouncing around. Look, he just dives at the feet of all the players there, Petty Rodriguez and JJ Williams, and gathers that one up. But, you know, we've barely had 10 minutes, and they've been under severe pressure in defense, Westchester. But if they can soak it up and keep a clean sheet, that will certainly please George Jokai.
Speaking of George Jokai, there he is. We talked about the last road win, but you mentioned it, Gary. He is still positive with this group and feels that if certain moments of, you know, lapses of concentration and things of that nature are addressed, that Westchester can turn things around.
Well, they certainly can, and but he did say the next 2 to 3 weeks are very important. He said, we have to do it soon. We can't keep waiting. The good thing is the next 3 matches are all at home against Fort Wayne, Greenville Triumph, Portland Hearts of Pine. You know, home matches help, especially when you've got this bad an away record. If they can get something out of each of those games, maybe they can start to claw their way back up the table.
The last win for Westchester was April 8th, a 2-0 win over Sarasota. Getting towards 2 months since they've won a game, period, home or away. Here is Hugo Bacharach, was in the team of the week on the bench this past week in the championship. Rodriguez for Clay Holstead, and Holstead took out the driver and sends it well over the top. You could turn to CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 10th for a USL Eastern Conference Championship clash under the lights as the Tampa Bay Rowdies defend their home turf against battle-tested Charleston Battery. 7 p.m. Eastern, catch all the action on CBS Sports Network on June 10th.
That's a game worth watching. 2 very good sides, Tampa Bay in particular. What a season they are having.
Those 2 teams have also met multiple times recently in the playoffs last few years in the USL Championship as well. And my goodness, does Dom Casciato potentially have a juggernaut in those Tampa Bay Rowdies this year? It's played back to Marinelli. George Jokai did tell us that he was going to expect to see a bit more from Luca Marinelli with the ball at his feet tonight. See if those moments could show him being confident. They kind of threw him into the fire earlier in this season and just wondered what was going to happen. And they loved how he responded to the pressure. And here he is getting more and more minutes as Westchester's #1. Rhode Island again on the attack, a little bit of a loose defensive touch, but Westchester clears.
Guarantee you one thing, Luca Marinelli is going to be busy tonight. Don't know whether it's with his feet or his hands, but yeah, got thrown in after Andrew Hammersley broke a bone in his hand, although he is back in training but not cleared for full contact, and the other goalkeeper, Molina's got flu. So a nice little run for Luca Marinelli. Unfortunately for him, the 4 games he has played, they've lost all 4, but none his fault. I think he's probably played pretty well in every one of the 4, and I'm sure he's going to make some big saves here tonight just because there's going to be a volume of shots to save.
Well, that was directed towards JJ Williams. The flicked on header takes it to this near side. And the visitors will get the throw in off the deflection. Well, RIFC fans, grab yourself an ice cold Pepsi Zero Sugar for the match. Zero never tasted so good. You have to try it to believe it. Pepsi Zero Sugar is a proud partner of RIFC. George Jokai on multiple occasions said about Luca Marinelli in our talk early this week that he's a quote-unquote breath of fresh air. And while, frankly, for a team that's in Westchester's form, they need as many of those fresh breaths as they can get.
Yeah, he's done very well to be thrown in the deep end, just 22 years of age. And he's made decent saves in every match. It's not easy when you're playing in a team that's, you played 4 times, lost 4 times, but his confidence still remains high.
Now at this end, can Westchester try to break down this Rhode Island defensive outfit here? Otto Smith has not loved the fact that Rhode Island have given up goals here and there, sort of stray goals, if you will. That crosses towards the penalty spot. There was a chance to volley that towards target. Good clearance away by Frank Nodarse. It's picked back up on this near side by Jennings, who plays it back towards the halfway line in a reset with Timchenko. Played out wide by Jimenez. Chance to get a shot away here from a very difficult angle, and it is well out of play. I'll enter the Prinx Tires USL Game Day Kit sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today. Here is Bacharach. Again, Rhode Island looking to probe here. Scardina couldn't get the return as J.J. Williams gives it right back to Westchester on this far side with Kyle Evans trying to bring it forward. He's swarmed and he's dispossessed. Amos Shapiro-Thompson. Nodarse. Bacharach. Noah Fuson able to keep his balance and keep the ball. Karifa Yao. Nodarse, patient Rhode Island build up here, looking for the gaps. Holstead. Chance here to poke that through. It was Rodriguez initially, and then Westchester pokes it over the halfway line.
Well, as you mentioned in the keys about getting behind the ball from Westchester's point of view, they're doing it really well. Look at those white shirts. You can just see how they're getting numbers back and making it very difficult for Rhode Island to find any gaps or any spaces in that defense.
Well, Bacharach did so well to win the ball back there, but then gives it away immediately after that. But now Noah Fuson trying to glide into the space, looking for Williams, the header towards the edge of the area. Rhode Island able to just about win it back. Williams does well to recover it and then plays it square and gives the ball away. But Rhode Island, again, very quickly recovering possession here, and they'll get the throw as well.
It's Brian Vasquez doing a lot of good work there, tightening things down that left-hand side, but look at those white shirts, all in either in the box or on the edge of the box. They know that they can't go punch for punch with Rhode Island, so they're just going to make it as difficult as possible and see if on the counter and the transition, they can maybe pick up a goal.
Clay Holstead can be very, very dangerous on these long throws for Rhode Island, but he doesn't put it in the best area there. It leaks over the end line. Bacharach cannot keep it in play. Now, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. And as always, Select is the player's choice. And Westchester trying to play their way through here. They do have some real estate to run into down this near side. It's played back for Max Jennings, who again checks it back over the halfway line. She mentioned as well, Westchester will be relatively fresh. Their last league game was May 23rd. They lost 1-0 away to FC Naples. So they've used some of that time to get some guys closer and closer to full health. And obviously, when we talked to George Jokai, one of the other things he stressed about, we hinted at this earlier, was trying to give more players playing time that have earned it through their ability in training and really just their commitment and their work ethic. And he's hoping that some of those guys can come up and provide him with some winning moments here tonight in the Cup.
I think he mentioned, was it Brian Vasquez, Miguel Diaz, youngsters who, especially in Brian Vasquez's case, just 19 years of age, who hadn't had many minutes, just the one appearance. Miguel Diaz, just the one appearance in the league. So give them a run out, and why not? It's a cup match. You want to get some competitiveness going in the squad. So if these players play well tonight, then it gives George Jokai the opportunity to put pressure on those who are regular starters.
Ball in by Nodarse. Williams was able to get his head to it, but Westchester do shovel it out and just about clear, but it is a Rhode Island throw. Bacharach. Nodarse. Not on the same page with Sanchez. I'll be here Friday, June 12th. It's a very special night. This Grammy-nominated comedian Bill Burr performs live at Centerville Bank Stadium. Tickets are on sale now. They're going fast. CentervilleBankStadium.com is where you get them. Don't miss out. That's given away to Clay Holstead. Pitsy Rodriguez, lovely close control here. Rodriguez tries to shovel it square, and Westchester do just about enough to clear, but then they commit a foul on the back end. Fuson brought down, and Rhode Island get a free kick in a promising bit of space here.
If you watch that action again, Pitsy Rodriguez was surrounded by 5 white shirts. They are making it so. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's trying. There's just feet going in everywhere, and eventually the ball comes out. The problem with that, of course, is when they then try to go forward, they don't have any numbers, and in that case, they fouled as well. So they're coming under a lot of pressure, Westchester, but they certainly are defending well so far.
You wondered for a brief moment there if Pitsy Rodriguez was going to do his best Harry Houdini impression and get out of that. And now Rhode Island have an opportunity here, pretty good opportunity from a set piece. Amos Shapiro-Thompson sets it on the surface. And a candidate to get on that bit of service tells him where he wants it, in J.J. Williams. Shapiro-Thompson clips it over the top, maybe put a little bit too much on it. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Well, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek is your ticket to great seats. Got a good crowd here at Centerville Bank Stadium, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Prinx Tires USL Cup. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our great crew. It's always great to have you with us on nights like this. Both teams have to win. That's the headline coming into this fixture. 3 points are essential for both teams to stay alive going into match day 4. And Westchester maraud forward here. That might have been tipped off the top of the fingertips of Koke Vegas. It's last off of Rhode Island, it appears. The referee points for a Westchester corner.
Good little bit of skill on the left-hand side here, and the cross coming in. And you're right, Koke Vegas just gets a touch to it. Could have even sneaked in that near post, but the goalkeeper just getting rid of the danger. So that's basically how they want to play as Jimenez with the cross there, the 25-year-old Mexican. You know, they defend, and then try and get something on the occasional attack.
Jonathan Jimenez, formerly with NYCFC 2 and MLS Next Pro, where he made a name for himself there. Showing you some of his attributes as the whistle blows the play dead here before the corner is taken. Looked like that was Makic who was lining that up. One or two words from the referee to a few of the players involved. Mac Jennings among them. Westchester again will line up the corner. Makic with an in-swinger. Makic drives it towards the edge of the 6. Deflects out towards the edge of the penalty area, and the volley loops over and out.
JJ Williams doing a good job at the back there, clearing that header. Unfortunately for the volley coming in, it was way over the top, but again, why he's such a great player, JJ Williams in the USL. Scores with his left foot, right foot headers, as we showed in the beginning. He holds the ball up well, and there he is, getting a really good clearing header in defense.
5 shots to 1 in favor of Rhode Island so far. They look to add on to that here. It's not the best of clearances away. It's skewered out of play. It's going to be another Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner for Rhode Island with nearly 25 minutes gone in the opening half.
There's a player who's got a lot to prove here today. Noah Fuson, very good player, but hasn't been a regular starter this season. Today's an ideal opportunity to show Coach Connor Smith what he's capable of. Jojea Quazera has been in great form. Noah Fuson has to try and find a form similar to that.
Fuson takes the corner. Nodarse's header. Marinelli is going to eventually get on the end of that. There may have been a foul in the mixture as well.
A total commitment going for the ball here. Clash of bodies, then falling over each other, and not sure if the clash came there or where it comes there, where bodies, someone stood on someone's head perhaps. But anyway, everyone seems to be fine. That's the good news.
Well, proudly outfitting RIFC, Capelli Sport is your global game changer for premium kits, gear, and innovation on and off the field. I think you're right, Gary. It was one of those two sort of away from the ball moments. The referee spots there and gives Westchester a free kick to get themselves out of harm's way for the time being. Jennings down this near sideline. The ball's kept in play, and there's a foul on the back end of it as well. And Westchester will get a free kick.
This is a good set piece for Westchester. As we said, they're not going to get a ton of chances tonight, but a ball out wide here, put some height in it and put it into the big guys. Just gives you a chance. Don't put it too close to Koke Vegas, of course. Don't put too much height in it, whip it in, but just give some of your big central defenders like Timchenko, for example, a chance to get up there and get on the end of something.
Jennings away from the play here, I think, is being looked at. While Makic, and at least initially Diaz, were standing over it. Jennings might be getting treated for a bloody nose here, just off the field. The referee will have to welcome him back on. So Westchester are down to 10 for the moment. Makic whips in a decent ball, but there's too many Rhode Island heads there. It's headed towards the outskirts. Timchenko looks to recycle it. It's whipped back around. It's clipped into the penalty area, and Koke Vegas watches it sail out of play.
By the way, the player who headed that clear, JJ Williams.
Once again.
He's some player there, but it was a decent ball in. It was whipped in with pace. Just felt they could have challenged for that a bit more, Westchester.
Pitsy Rodriguez holds up the play here for Rhode Island, finds Scardina. Hugo Bacharach's shot is blocked. Holstead over the top, looking for Aldair Sanchez, who appreciated it, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. Chance here for Rhode Island. It's Clay Holstead. It's Leo Afonso with the equalizer. Holstead finds Leo Afonso. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey here with you. Nearly half an hour gone, Prinx Tires USL Cup. Overall, it's been positive from Rhode Island, but Westchester, at least the last couple of moments, are starting to get a little bit of a foothold into this game, I dare say, Gary.
Yeah, I think both coaches will be pleased with the opening 30. Rhode Island have created a ton of chances, been positive going forward, defended the set piece as well. And for Westchester, they've just defended well. They really have. And if they're gonna work their way back up the table in League One, they need to be defensively strong. And what we've seen so far has been excellent by the League One side.
Here is Amos Shapiro-Thompson scampering forward, trying to get to the byline, but it's touched out of play. And it's going to be another corner for Rhode Island, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Attleboro.
And Westchester appealing for the goal kick. Let's just see who gets the last touch. And a good run there from Amos Shapiro-Thompson. That's what they need. They need players to run at that defense. When you've got lots of numbers, once they settle in, there's no space. But when the space is there, you've got to take it, run at them, and see if you can get through that back four.
And Noah Fuson to deliver the corner. It's Bacharach. Tried to hook it into the middle, at least towards goal, and it's out of play. Well, High Noon's quality is second to none, formulated with real spirits, juice, iced tea, no added sugar, and natural flavors. High Noon is the perfect drink for any occasion.
A little bit of a delay for injury. There's George Jokai. Got to be happy so far, but it's a 90-minute match. And this defending has to be now repeated for the next 60 minutes, which will not be easy against a Rhode Island side that is stacked. You know, they might be ninth in the table, but they're not a ninth position. They're definitely top 4 or 5 team in the USL.
Well, as well, George Jokai told us that there have been moments where the consistency hasn't been there, obviously, for Westchester. Lapses of concentration have let them down in certain games this season. This will be a real test of their concentration and their defensive makeup. No, Darcy looking for Williams. He heads it square. Westchester don't do the best to clear this. It falls for Bacharach. No, Darcy. Rhode Island will get a really good chance to try again here. Bacharach. Holstead. Scardina. Holstead for Karifa Yao. No, Darcy surveys the scene, plays it to the edge of the area. Fuson and company, a little link-up play there. Fuson again, trying to maneuver to the byline. And the cross is going to go well out of play. It's a goal kick.
Well, they're trying, aren't they, Rhode Island? They're just trying to probe, but so far Westchester have defended really well.
Well, the New England laborers are training the workforce of today that'll build our tomorrow with state-of-the-art training facilities across Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut that'll be equipped with classroom and job site knowledge to start a rewarding career in the construction industry. Build your future with the union that built Centerville Bank Stadium, your home of RIFC.
He's taking his time here, Luca Marinelli. Certain changes coming in for the World Cup, I believe, and one of them will be that you can't take too long from goal kicks and throw-ins. Otherwise, you will lose possession of the ball, so that'll certainly speed things up, but it hasn't come into play yet, so Marinelli taking as much time as he can with his goal kicks.
That's played square for Amos Shapiro-Thompson, who lets the shot go. And it's gonna be, oh, it's a goal kick. Referee had his arm up initially there, but then says there was no deflection on it.
Not his best shot, Shapiro-Thompson way off. They'll keep trying everything. They've tried to go wide on the flanks there trying to use Noah Fuson down that left-hand side and haven't been able to get through. Of course, JJ Williams has been doing his thing as always, probing around the edge of the box, heading balls into dangerous areas. That's the thing about JJ Williams. It's going to be a big challenge for the rest of this match. You're talking about his 5 goals, puts him joint 9th in the Golden Boot, but he's had the most shots in the USL with 54. So you don't want to let him get on the ball on the edge of your box. And I'm sure that George Jokai and his coaching staff have made that point abundantly clear to the Westchester players.
Here is Fuson, former Golden Playmaker of the Year in the championship. Tries to thread the needle here. He's touched out and only as far as Bacharach, who puts in the challenge, one that leads to the referee giving a foul to the League One side here.
He's a big unit to have as a midfielder, 6 foot plus, what, 6'3" or 4, and playing as a defensive midfielder. He can win the high balls. He's powerful and strong. And he's part of that driving force alongside Clay Holstead from midfield that sets up this talented Rhode Island attack.
Here comes Rhode Island again. Sanchez, great ball into the middle. It's not the best of clearances away. Holstead chops it for Fuson. Shapiro Thompson looking for Williams, and it's scooped away. Karifa Yao retrieves it. Bacharach. Fuson. Noah Fuson! Oh, it's off the bar! Out of the reach of Marinelli, and inches away from giving Rhode Island the lead.
That's what he has to do, Fuson, if he's going to impress his manager, which we suggested he had to. Today is the day, ever so close for that effort. Maybe the keeper would have had it covered if it had dropped a little bit lower.
Ball in by Scardina, punched away by Marinelli. Clay Holstead. Bodies dropping all over the place here. More Rhode Island pressure, but then the foul is going to be brought back here and given to Westchester after another flurry.
Let's have a look at Noah Fuson here on his right foot. Don't know if he was trying to bend it in front of JJ Williams, but it turns out to be a great shot if it was meant. Thunders against that crossbar. Much, much better there from Noah Fuson. As we said earlier, got so much talent, but 8 matches this season, no goals at all. There he was extremely close.
No goals, does have 2 assists in the league. Noah Fuson, but mentioned it earlier, 2024, first year of Rhode Island as a club. His first year, of course, with the team, wins the Golden Playmaker. Rhode Island gets to the final. And last year, this wasn't the sole reason, but you bring in Maxi Rodriguez, and those two didn't seem to really work well together all the time, at least, for Rhode Island. And then Maxi goes back to Detroit, and there were Rhode Island fans that wondered, is that the key to getting Noah Fuson back on track? And we've seen glimpses of it, just like we saw there. But of course, I'm sure he would tell you, I'm sure Connor Smith would tell you, that there's still a few more steps to be taken to get back to that form we saw 2 years ago.
Absolutely, and if you've got him on one flank, Jojo Quazera on the other, and JJ Williams through the middle, then you've probably got amongst the best strike force in the USL.
Vegas was off his line here, and that was dinked over the top. Goes in the end well off target. Rhode Island go back to work here. Fuson would love to make a statement tonight in this USL Cup tie. A little bit of a nibble of a challenge there. It's a foul and a free kick. Rodriguez brought down, put quickly, beg your pardon, back into play for Noah Fuson. Fuson dancing and looking for an opening. It's Nodarse here. Sanchez to his left, plays it square for Holstead. Rhode Island continuing to press and poke and probe here. Bacharach. Scardina just about able to stay on it here. Yao for Holstead. Sanchez bends the ball into the penalty area, touched high into the air. Again, Westchester struggling to clear their lines here. They finally push it towards the midway point of their own half. only for Rhode Island to meet them there and recycle the possession.
Good counter-pressing there from Rhode Island. As soon as they lost it, they're pouncing on Westchester. And of course, they've got no one forward to play to. Everyone's behind the ball. So, you know, if you have somebody up front, you can knock it over the top. But have a look. Every single player, they haven't left anybody up front to aim for when they get the ball.
Holstead from Scardina. 6 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Fuson. Again, trying to clip it over the top. A little too much on it, looking for Scardina. And it's a goal kick. We look back on Rhode Island's chances so far. They've been plenty. They just have not been able to find the back of the net as of yet.
Yeah, that one cleared off the line there by Powder. Shot from Alder Sanchez going wide. They've had lots of little sniffs here and there. Penny Rodriguez knocking it back. Ball goes loose. Goalkeeper pounces on it. And then this is Fuson's shot come cross that thunders against the crossbar. So yeah, they've been close. They just haven't found a really excellent chance, a one-on-one chance.
Another chance to take a long distance effort. And this time it is well off target from the aforementioned Fuson.
And it is frustrating for a team like Rhode Island. Lots of teams, when they play lower opposition, have to face this low block, and it's very difficult to break down, whether it's at this level or European Championship, even World Cup. I'm sure we'll see plenty of games in the World Cup where teams that aren't as good just sit back and get numbers behind the ball and block. But once you get the breakthrough, you go 1-0 up, then the team that's losing has to come out a little bit to try and attack, and then you can get a second, third, and fourth. But it's getting that first one that generally is the most difficult.
There were moments even last year where Rhode Island struggled in these kinds of moments where teams would sit back and were well organized defensively, and Rhode Island did struggle last year to deal with that. Cano Smith does feel that this year's team is more, as he puts it, goal dangerous with the players that they've brought in, like Scardina, like Rodriguez, like Afonso's on the bench to start tonight's proceedings, to try and counteract these kinds of moments. This is played square again for Fuson. It was a lovely initial touch to keep Rhode Island on the front foot here. Fuson into the middle. It's behind J.J. Williams. But it's won back by Clay Holstead, who buries the chance. Well, in many ways, it's a microcosm of the half. It looked like Westchester had dealt with it. They give it right back. And Clay Holstead fires it into the bottom corner to put Rhode Island ahead.
That's what comes from this pressure. Noah Fuson on the left-hand side. His cross is a bit loose, but Clay Holstead pounces on that and takes the ball off young Brian Vasquez and just dispatches it into corner. So he wins the ball himself, tucks it into that corner, gets beautiful stride. Look behind it. It's straight as an arrow and with pace, but it's that hunting in midfield, and you felt eventually something had to break for Rhode Island because of all this pressure, and it finally has.
Rhode Island goals are brought to you by Capelli Sport. Wonderful work, wonderful finish from Clay Holstead, and the resistance is broken. Rhode Island, after all the pressure, have the lead with 3 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Can Rhode Island add on here? Brief opening there for J.J. Williams. It was recovered by Brian Vasquez for Westchester. And once again, Rhode Island win it right back with Scardina. It's then deflected out of play. It's a Rhode Island throw.
It's come at a really good time for Rhode Island, because assuming they don't concede, they can go in at half-time a little bit more relaxed. They've got the breakthrough. I'm sure Connor Smith will say, just keep the pressure on. You'll get a second and a third and wrap this thing up. All the time it was 0-0. It was getting really, really tough for Rhode Island and frustrating for the players. Like I say, now they can relax a little bit more.
Holstead from the long throw. This time he puts it into a really good area. It's flicked on from Nardarse. Hit up into the air and headed in by Williams. Well, you wondered for a moment if the referee was going to bring that back for a foul on the goalkeeper. It doesn't appear that that's the case. Williams out jumps everybody and doubles Rhode Island's lead in a flash. It's 2-0.
That's what makes this guy so special. He's brilliant in the air, he's great with his feet. Nadarse battling there. Goalkeeper gets a little bit blocked by Petty Rodriguez there. It wasn't done on purpose, I don't think. Maybe it was, and if it was very shrewd of him, but it just stopped the goalkeeper getting a run at that ball. Up gets JJ Williams. Doesn't he get so high and then heads that into an empty net? So brilliant play all around. And looking at Luca Marinelli, he's asking the question of the referee, was I unfairly blocked? But I think Petty Rodriguez just stands across his running line and just slows him down and makes it difficult for Marinelli to get up and get the ball.
Yet again, JJ Williams scores on a big night for Rhode Island. Another Capelli Sport goal for RIFC, who quickly turned one goal into two, and they're looking for more here. Williams saw that poked through accidentally, and Westchester now eventually come out with it through Jimenez. Well, Gary, you hinted at it. You score one, sometimes the next goal can come very quickly. That's exactly what's happened for Rhode Island, who scored two in double quick time. And they're on the front foot again. It's going to be laid off for Amos Shapiro-Thompson. He settles it down for Yao. Approaching stoppage time here at the end of the half. Bacharach. Sanchez. Nodarse. Pitsy Rodriguez. Right down the heart of the goal. Caught by Marinelli as we tell you that the Rhode Island Lottery is proud to be the official partner of RIFC. We're into 2 added minutes at the end of the half here in Prinx Tires USL Cup.
So much good work by Westchester in defending, but now at 2-0 down, they're in danger of getting swamped second half. And they've got to come forward to try and get a goal back, which is going to leave space behind. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough next 45 minutes for Westchester.
Well, for all your RIFC gear, visit Rhode Island FC's official team store, powered by Capelli Sports. Shop.rhodeislandfc.com is where you go. A little bit of a confusing moment there. Ball went out of play. Took the referee a little while to acknowledge the assistant referee on that far side. It is Rhode Island's ball with about a minute left in the half. It's played over the top, looking for Noah Fuson. It's going to bounce out of play, and it's a goal kick. If Rhode Island want this night to get even better, they'd love Noah Fuson, I'm sure, to get on the score sheet as well.
Well, every chance he will second half. They look very tired, Westchester. They put in a really excellent defensive performance, but that's the problem with getting bodies behind is you do a lot more running, chasing, and also luck is on the side of the team attacking. That's where you get like a handball penalty or a deflected goal, or because you're putting the pressure on. So generally speaking, that sort of pressure will eventually lead to a goal of some sort. Problem is it's led to 2 goals, and that's a lot for Westchester to come back from.
Marinelli fitting that through a tight pocket of space, but Bacharach and company win this back. And as Rhode Island tried to go on another attack here, that's where the whistle will blow. 2 minutes are up, and it's halftime in Pawtucket. Well, it took about 40 minutes for Rhode Island to break through the Westchester defense, but they did so not once but twice. Goals from Holstead and Williams have Rhode Island in the box seat at halftime.
Yeah, there certainly are. Big difference. Those 2 goals in the last 5 minutes have changed the game completely. It's going to be very tough for Westchester, as I mentioned, and for Rhode Island, it's about getting more and more goals, because that could be a deciding factor at the end. So looking forward to what should be a good and exciting second half.
Well, so far, Rhode Island are handling the business on a night that they have to win to keep their hopes alive in Prinx Tires USL Cup play. Holstead and JJ Williams on the score sheet. Rhode Island 2-0 up over Westchester at the half. We'll have more coming up when we come back.
I'm gonna go around interviewing some fans. What's your favorite part about being here? What was your favorite part about being a kid?
My favorite part about being a kid was going to Disney with my family every year.
Playing outside with my friends.
Playing soccer, 100%.
My favorite part about being a kid was not having responsibilities.
We have responsibilities.
I really like watching cartoons. What's your favorite?
Scooby-Doo.
I really like Scooby-Doo.
Drumroll. The team store. What should people buy for the store today?
People should buy the new goalie jersey that came out.
These are the new goalie kits that came out a week ago. Come on. These are the kits, like the new kits. These are the away kits. I think these are the new goalie jerseys.
Wherever Chip is, probably my favorite part of the stadium. And then whatever goal Koke is standing in front of, that's probably my second favorite part of the stadium.
JJ Williams jersey. I call it a kick, because that's what it is. What's your favorite part about being a kid?
Having free will, except when my parents are around.
We can do whatever we want.
We don't have to pay for anything.
That you don't have a job. The hour's good. Background's good. The community's good. The food is good. Stadium is great. Let's go check out the pitch. Boom, boom, boom. Cookie's from Spain. Dwayne Atkinson, Jamaica.
I love that now the folks like you get to come out with your family and have a blast in this type of atmosphere.
How does the energy in the stadium affect the game?
Terrific question. When the energy is really, really high and really, really positive, which we saw tonight, it gives the group a lift.
What do you think about Kids Night?
I'm excited for Kids Night.
What's your goal for Kids Night?
Score as many goals as possible.
The energy is crazy.
Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Gem Plumbing here in Prinx Tire's USL Cup play. Rhode Island leading 2-0 over League One side Westchester. Still the big 45 minutes coming up at the start of the second half, which we'll get to in a moment. These fans are the winners of the seriously nice seat upgrade, courtesy of Breeze Airways. Each match, Breeze Airways upgrades lucky fans to a premium match day experience. Breeze Airways is a proud partner of Rhode Island FC. Let's take a look back at round 2 coverage from USL Cup play. Some of the best moments.
It will be Quazera. Good ball. Back post. May have been knocked away by Morse. It stays out.
Trying to come back across where it comes from, and Hunter Morse. That was Morse. Wow. Wonderful save yet again.
Going for goal.
The Rowdies remained unbeaten in all competitions thanks to an impressive start at Pitbull Stadium. Louis Perez in space, but the runs from MD Myers and Dolabella create it. Watch him step in, take a touch, move to his left, off the post and in, an eclectic strike for the Rowdies is your Prinx Tires USL Cup goal of the round.
Well, some good stuff there. Gem Plumbing halftime score, 2-0. Rhode Island has the lead over Westchester. Look at the standings in the upcoming schedule in Group 5 when we come back after the break.
Prinx tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. trusted for over 100 years. Our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Progress means achieving goals together. It's showing up every day with a trusted team, creating the right game plan, and pushing forward for the win. At Centerville Bank, we take a team-first approach to help turn obstacles into victories. As the official bank of Rhode Island FC, we know achieving your goals happens when we work together. That's what we call progress on purpose. Centerville Bank. Progress on purpose.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, your entire crew. We look at the live standings right now in Group 5 in Prinx Tire's USL Cup play. That's why this game is so important for both teams. A win for Rhode Island, if they see this out, keeps them in the hunt. If it stays this way for Westchester, they're essentially out of it.
So important. And also what's important is what are Hartford Athletic doing, because if they win, it's a problem. But should they draw or lose tonight against Cosmos, that will suddenly open things up for Rhode Island or possibly Westchester if they can score 3 goals and concede none in the second half, which seems a touch unlikely.
We'll see how it'll unfold. It is USL Cup, so we're not always sure how it's going to unfold. Look at the scoreboard right now in Group 5. The game is delayed at the moment between the Cosmos and Hartford. Hartford are 1-0 up, but also a man up at the moment as well. If we get any updates on that game, we'll pass them along. Tomorrow, big game, Portland Hearts of Pine go to Brooklyn. Hartford finish up group play against Westchester. Rhode Island hosts Brooklyn. Those games are on July 11th. Final game in the group after that, Portland Hearts of Pine against the Cosmos in an all League One showdown. So there still could be quite a bit of moving parts. And remember, Rhode Island, if they do end up in the second position tonight, depending on how things go, could still be in line for a wild card position as well. We'll see how all those tiebreakers and things do play out. At the moment, it's 2-0. Rhode Island leading Westchester at the half. We'll step aside. We'll have highlights and stats from the first half, followed by the second half kick after this.
It is halftime in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. The drama is building in all groups. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from League One and the championship. The lone unbeaten club in both leagues is putting up dominant numbers in a 2026 turnaround. The Tampa Bay Rowdies have scored first in all 13 of their matches in all competitions this year. But if you break it down to just 11 games in the championship, the Rowdies have outshot their opponents 50-28 so far. Congratulations to Greenville Triumph for opening the latest of the new stadiums in League One. The Triumph began play in GE Vernova Park with a win over Forward Madison. League One now boasts 3 brand new stadiums in 2026. Young players are starting to earn more and more playing time in League One and the USL Championship. How about Santiago Higuereta from AV Alta? He scored his first professional goal in Week 12. At age 17 years, 249 days old, Higuereta is the youngest goal scorer in AV Alta history, and he beats out Vigo Ortiz of Charlotte Independence by 43 days for the League One youngest player to score this season. Upcoming national spotlight games next Wednesday, the Rowdies and Charleston Battery, Forward Madison and Fort Wayne on the 17th, and Las Vegas and Orange County on the CBS Sports Network. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
Hi, welcome. How can I help you? Sure, I can help you with that. How would you like to make the deposit today? Cash or check? Thank you for visiting Centerville Bank. Have a great day.
There's nothing more American than high gas prices. When you're at the pump, you could spend $60, $70, even $80 just to fill up. Or ride RIPTA and keep more money in your pocket. Plus, save money on parking. For less than the cost of a cup of coffee, RIPTA gets you where you need to go. Drive less, save more, ride RIPTA. Visit RIPTA.com to plan your trip today.
You may think the nicest moments happen once you've arrived at your destination. At Breeze, we think they happen all along the way.
Yeah, let me grab that for you.
That was so nice.
Whether you're kicking back in Breeze Ascent or just enjoying time together in family seating, we take creating nice moments seriously, so you're ready for the rest of the journey ahead. When it's all over, the nicest moment might just be planning your next trip. Breeze. Seriously nice.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Prinx Tires, the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. And by High Noon, RIPTA, and Scandinavian Building Services. Sean and Gary back here with you. Halftime highlights are brought to you by Cox. We start with this attack from Rhode Island off a takeaway, and Holstead finishes.
Brilliant from Clay Holstead. This is towards the end of the first half. Puts the pressure on there. It's a loose first touch by young Brian Vasquez, but he pounces on it and then tucks it right into the corner. Really, really good finish and much needed by Rhode Island.
That really broke down the defensive resistance that we saw for a vast majority of the half, but very quickly, Rhode Island turned one goal into two.
Challenge for the ball at near post. Nodase goes up, and then J.J. Williams out jumps goalkeeper Luca Marinelli, who gets blocked a little bit by Petty Rodriguez. Have a look at the number 10, just steps across in there, maybe stops his run up to the ball. JJ cleanly out jumps him. Have a look at the height JJ Williams gets from there. Brilliant.
Two goals in next to no time have Rhode Island in control of this Group 5 Cup tie here in Rhode Island. Halftime stats look like this: 5 shots to none on target for Rhode Island, who also have a plus 11 shot differential in their favor overall in the first half.
And I can add the expected goals to that, 1.04 for Rhode Island. They've got 2 goals from a 1.04, which is good going. Just 0.21 for Westchester. They had a couple of little moments. They'll need a lot more of those in the second half if they're to get anything out of this match.
Well, certainly Westchester will have to come out of their shells a bit more in this second half, which of course, as we mentioned in the first half, could play right into Rhode Island's hands. That's why that late flurry at the end of the first half that saw Rhode Island get those 2 clinical finishes could play a massive role in how this second half plays out.
No, absolutely spot on with that, and that is a danger if you're Westchester. Do you want to risk getting beat 4 or 5, or? But again, if they get 1 goal, they're back in the match, so maybe they will be a little bit more adventurous. If you look at touches in the opposition box, 20 for Rhode Island, just 4 for Westchester. So if they're to do anything, they do have to get into that Rhode Island box. But as you quite rightly say, it's going to leave a ton of space for Rhode Island to play into.
On the other part of this too, which is difficult for George Jokai and Westchester, we mentioned this early and often really in the first half. Both teams need to win the game. Got to get the win in the 90 minutes here to get all 3 points. Any other result, in this case for Westchester, or losing at the moment, you're essentially out. And that's partly because Hartford, in a game that has been interrupted at the moment, they're leading 1-0 against the Cosmos. So they're at 7 points. Obviously, a loss for Westchester means they can't get to that total, and they'll be firmly behind in the pecking order for a potential wild card spot as well. So if Westchester are to give themselves a chance, they're going to need to turn this all the way around in the second half, which is going to be quite the task.
Oh, absolutely. It's a big ask. They might want to go for it, but to be honest with you, I think they're probably more focused on turning around their League One form. They have Fort Wayne at home next week, midweek, so that's the big game for them, followed by Greenville Triumph at home, Portland Hearts of Pine at home. I think this is more about just getting used to defending, getting bodies behind the ball, commitment, etc., and just building up some confidence. But if they can get one, to your point, no reason why they can't go and get more. But look at Koke Vegas, not a spot on his, I don't think he's had a dive to make. He's looking like he's just walked out of the locker room. That's going to have to change second half if Westchester are to win this match.
Well, no changes for either side at the start of the second half. And we welcome those joining us on MyRI TV, MSG Networks, and of course on CBS Sports Golazo Network as well. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our entire crew. Prinx Tires USL Cup action here. Wild moment there within 10 seconds at the start of the second half. J.J. Williams going up there with Marinelli, and this time Westchester fends it off, trying to come back from a 2-0 deficit. The League One side trailing against the side out of the second-tier USL Championship here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
I'm guessing that Luca Marinelli got told by the coaches you have to try and dominate your box because of the second goal. He's come out and clattered J.J. Williams, who, to be fair to him, turns to the ref and says, well, hang on a second, is that a penalty? But the goalkeeper was going for the ball, and without VAR, I don't think the referees are going to give a penalty for that.
An early flashpoint at the start of the second half here. Against teams do switch sides, so Westchester going from right to left. They get that cross into the middle, and Rhode Island are just about able to hook it clear towards J.J. Williams. But then this time it's Rhode Island who give the ball away pretty cheaply here. Can Westchester pounce on this opportunity? It's played out to the far side for Kyle Evans. Evans plays it square for Vasquez. Played back out towards the far sideline. It's crossed into the middle. No, Darcy's header away, sends it out for a throw. Well, that's a flex out of play. It's a throw in on the far side. Goals from Clay Holstead and J.J. Williams, roughly 2 or 3 minutes apart, right at the end of the first half, have allowed Rhode Island to take complete command in this Prinx Tires USL Cup Group 5 encounter. That play fizzles out for the League One side, and it's out for a throw. We tell you that you can come up clutch with the Wendy's app. Save time, save money. Get the W. Wendy's is a proud partner of RIFC.
You can see that Westchester is still going with that low block again.
Pitsy Rodriguez tried to find the gap, but it had all the sting taken out of the shot off the ricochet.
So they're going to try and defend in numbers, but then try and get forward as well. And that's the tricky bit, as we're seeing here. It's hard to get through that sort of press from Rhode Island. Maybe they can go with a long ball, and perhaps there's a couple of bench players who can come on. I'm thinking of Kuhn Blumstein as a good target, number 9. If you want to get out of pressure, knock it up to him. So we might see him come on at some stage in the second half if they're struggling to get that goal against Rhode Island. But to be fair, they've only scored 12 goals in 9 matches in USL League One. That's the second, well, I think only 2 teams have lower than them. So it's the 3rd lowest. So not big on goal scoring, Westchester, either. So, yeah, tough situation. We don't score that many and you're up against Rhode Island and you're 2-0 down. It's going to take some second half for the League One side to turn this around.
The whistle will bring this to a halt. It's going Westchester's way as far as the direction, it appears. I mentioned Blumstein on the bench. Connor McGlynn is available for George Jokai, Dean Guzin as well. Daniel Burko, another potential option in the attack.
Of course, Connor McGlynn, formerly a Rhode Island player, so he would love to come on and cause a few problems for his former side. And then for Rhode Island, well, they just have a ton of players they can bring on. It's more likely they'll give those who haven't played, the Danny Riveras and Kevin Vangs, who haven't had a league match this year. They've been out for quite a while. Might try and get those back in if they're, if they're still 2-0 up or even 3-0 up. They might bring those on. But of course, they've got Leo Afonso and other regular starters they can bring onto the pitch if Connor Smith wants to.
Haven't seen a lot from Jamin Gogo Peters as well. Another option for Connor Smith. Off the bench, has been on and off the injury list at times this season. We've seen him once in the league, once in the Open Cup as well, but very minimal as far as the minutes are concerned. As JJ Williams goes back to work here, it's wonderful hold-up play. Williams tries to finish. It's deflected off the edge of the 18. And then, of course, Williams goes back and recovers it himself to get Rhode Island back on the ball. Fuson lays this off. It's Bacharach. Holstead to the arriving Nodarse. Nodarse once more. Karifa Yao surveys the scene. Nodarse's ball into the middle. It was towards Williams. It nearly falls to him a second time before Westchester clear it out for a throw. Those unfamiliar with the Prinx Tires USL Cup play, Rhode Island would love to run up the scoreline here because of those tiebreakers that could play a factor later on in the competition. So they will not be settling at the 2-0. Connor Smith's side would love to put a few more on the board here to help out their goal difference and, more importantly, their total goals scored tally. Holstead, who scored the first goal, finds Bacharach. Karifa Yao ends up giving the ball away, and now Westchester will look to break on this near side. Rhode Island trying to get back, and they do get back in numbers to win it back. Holstead with the help from Fuson quickly sweeps it up after the attempt from Miguel Diaz. Williams spinning and finding Amos Shapiro-Thompson. Holstead played it forward. It's a poor challenge from behind, and it's going to be a free kick for Rhode Island, as we tell you that you could score big savings and unbeatable financing at Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the official furniture and mattress partner of RIFC. It does appear that the Westchester technical area is stirring a bit. See if George Jokai has any substitutions afoot after we get to this set piece opportunity. Noah Fuson standing over it. With Amos Shapiro-Thompson here. It's Fuson's delivery. It's a great delivery. It was a free header. And I think two of the Rhode Island center backs got in each other's way. Yao and Nodarse not on the same page.
Yeah, there needs to be some communication there because both of them were unmarked and they ended up tackling each other. If one of them had just heard the shout, they could have got out the way and it would have been a header on target, you would have thought.
Fuson, lovely take. Waits for more to arrive. It's played into the middle. Williams was the target, and it deflects out for a Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner to Rhode Island.
I think Williams is saying, I was at the far post. Why are you knocking it near? You see, look at his right hand going, put it up in the air for me. I'm not at the near post. You can see I'm not there. Give me the chance to head the ball.
Amos Shapiro-Thompson will line up the corner here on the far side. Does have a short option available, but he'll play it right into the penalty area towards Nodarse, who got his head to it. But Westchester clear their lines and force Nodarse back into the Rhode Island half.
Coque Vegas is saying, please give me a touch of the ball. I've hardly seen it the entire match. He's on the halfway line virtually, the Rhode Island goalkeeper.
Another ball that's speared towards the penalty area. Again, Westchester clear it, but again, as they've done all night, Rhode Island's ability to swiftly counter-press and win the ball back sees them regain possession.
And it's JJ Williams who does it once again, putting in the effort in defense and attack. Such a quality player. When you see the work he does and the impact he has on the game, must be one of the top 5 players in the USL.
Williams lays it off for Holstead here. Sanchez for Fuson on the byline. And Fuson sees it shepherded out for a goal kick. Jimenez brings this forward for Westchester, tries to get it back on the return. It's won back nicely by Rodriguez. And then, Rhode Island had a brief chance there to maybe continue on. Referee brings it back for a free kick. Williams, the layoff for Holstead. Brought down in the area. Referee had a long look at that. Says it's not enough for a point to the spot.
Lovely little 1-2 with JJ Williams, and Holstead picks up the return ball and just gets bundled off it. And you're right, it's probably not enough to give, because you can only give a penalty when you're really sure as a referee. But had there been VAR, they would have had a very close look at that, because it's possible he was taken off the ball, but it's almost impossible to see with the naked eye as a referee, and you can't give what you think, you have to give what you see. So again, correct decision for me by referee Denny Kolasinek.
Sanchez for Holstead. Saved by Marinelli. It's going to go out of play. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our entire crew back here with you. 4 changes for George Jokai and Westchester here. Jonathan Jimenez, Alexei Armas, Kyle Evans, and Brian Vasquez all being withdrawn here. The former Rhode Island standout, Connor McGlynn, comes in. Daniel Bowman, Dean Guzin, and Daniel Burko all on for the League One side in one foul swoop to try and help turn the tide around.
Number 6, Connor McGlynn. Number 8, Daniel Bowman. Number 10, Dean Guzin. And number 77, Daniel Burko.
It makes sense. There's some tired legs out there from all the defending they've been doing, and if they want to get something out of this match, they've got to score at least 2 goals. So, you know, bring on the fresh legs, bring on some attacking talent, give them, what have we got here, just over 30 minutes to have a go and see if they can get something and score against a team like Rhode Island at a much higher level than them.
Connor McGlynn played for Rhode Island back in their inaugural season, 2024, played 14 times in the league, scored 1 goal, scored a goal in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup for Rhode Island as well. Before that, had played 4 seasons at Hartford Athletic as well. Well, Connor Smith counters by making a sub as well. Amos Shapiro-Thompson will make way for Leo Afonso, who has certainly had some positive moments in his first year with Rhode Island. So that leaves Rhode Island with 4 changes left at a maximum. Just 1 left for Westchester, who are on the front foot here. This could fall at the edge of the area. The header is towards the penalty spot, but it's going to be a foul. Free kick, Rhode Island. After the substitute, Daniel Burko quite literally tried to head his way through there. But I think it's the follow-through that leads to Rhode Island getting the decision here.
That's a good attack. They've got numbers in the box here. The ball just goes loose. We have a bit of a clash of bodies there. I'm not so sure it's a free kick, to be honest, but it was given anyway. But good to see Westchester on the front foot.
Well, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. It's a wonderful Rhode Island counterattack here. Played right into the middle. It fell to the right player as well, Noah Fuson, but the shot is saved.
It's a good chance for Noah Fuson. Oh, it's living dangerously at the back there. But they're going to have to take chances, Westchester, if they're going to get something out of this match. So expect to see more numbers up front, less sitting in a low block, and that leaves them vulnerable to being picked off here at the back with the high pressure from Rhode Island.
That's a lovely ball out to the far side. Again, Westchester have some numbers arriving in the middle. And the cross is bounced in and scooped up by Vegas. Just under half an hour left to play. Again, if it holds, Rhode Island stay in the hunt for the top spot in the group. They'd have to battle it out once again, by the way, for a second year in a row with arch rivals Hartford.
Yeah, last year they made the semi-finals, Rhode Island, losing to Sac Republic. No disgrace there. So they know what it's like to get close, and I've no doubt they would love to go one step further this year, but Hartford seems to be the stumbling block in that group.
George Jokai is going to make his last change. Samori Powder, very talented player that we didn't get to see a lot of, frankly, tonight for Westchester, makes way. Bobby Pierre, a defensive player, comes in. That's the last change that the League One side can make.
Which, given there's still nearly 30 minutes left, is a big risk from George Jokai. I would have thought he might have kept that card in his pocket, because anyone gets injured now you're playing with 10 men. You cannot bring on an extra player, of course, unless there's a concussion situation. So, yeah, big risk to go with 30 minutes left. Let's see if it pays off.
Again, that is given back to Rhode Island off the pressure, or at least faint pressure there from Hugo Bacharach. Lovely reverse ball. Leo Afonso on this near side plays it in behind towards the edge of the penalty area. Scardina gets to it, and his cross deflects out of play. Rhode Island gets the corner.
It's time for a Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner.
And corners are brought to you by Chick-fil-A Attleboro. Another chance for Rhode Island to try to score here and essentially seal the points. See there, it's Rhode Island's 5th corner of the contest. Afonso stays for maybe a short option here. Fuson takes aim, whips in a really good ball. It was a free header as well. And it flashes just wide. It was Karifa Yao who climbed the highest.
In the end, he gets the header. He gets past Max Jennings there to get the header in, and thought he was going to hit target. He did the hard work, just couldn't quite angle the header into the corner. But again, so dangerous from set pieces between Karifa Yao and Frank Nodase, and of course JJ Williams as well. It's a lot of firepower up front there in terms of headers for Rhode Island.
More pressure from Rhode Island. It's a turnover. Pitsy Rodriguez for J.J. Williams. Williams trying to get on the turn here. It's Fuson. Lays it off. Scardina whips the ball into the middle, and Williams couldn't flick the header on target. Burko now stands it up for Westchester under some pressure here. And with the help of Jennings, Westchester plays through. Now can they get it over the halfway line? They might be able to here, although as soon as I say that, a professional foul from behind from Rodriguez. We'll see Westchester win a free kick, and the League One side are asking one or two questions about a yellow card here from the referee.
Yeah, Daniel Bowman, who just come on, just bowled over there. Yeah, and to your point, they were saying, well, that's stopping a promising attack and should be a yellow card. Referee says doesn't quite reach the threshold. Have a look at it again. Guzan gets it. It's a little bit of a shove in the back there from Pedro Rodriguez.
It was a lovely initial touch to keep the attack moving. Westchester gets the throw. 25 minutes of normal time left.
Get the sense that if Westchester play like this in the League One, they should go on and pick up results because they've defended really well, bodies behind the ball, they've got talent in attack, they really have shown commitment, so there's something there for George Jokai to work on.
Well, getting to the game is easy with Ripta's free game day bus service. Buses loop every 8 to 10 minutes between Pawtucket Central Falls Transit Center and Centerville Bank Stadium and the stadium's reserved parking lots. For a full list of stops, visit ripta.com/RIFC. Rhode Island drive forward again. Bacharach lays it off. Afonso. Nodarse plays it square for Kurifa Yao. Fuson. Rodriguez. Nodarse gets it back from Bacharach. Nodarse gliding through here towards the byline. He's bundled over, stays and gets back up onto his feet. And after that moment, a couple of moments there really, the referee points for a goal kick.
Aldair Sanchez not happy. He felt that was a corner. Nodarse does well with the run. Don't think there's a foul in that necessarily. Aldair Sanchez, have a look at it again. He was sort of going down already. Nodarse, and then Aldair Sanchez claims the corner, not given. Now again, the high press. Look at that turnover ball. They've been doing this all match to Westchester, doing it so well. Of course, the first goal from Clay Holstead came from that sort of pressure. Turnover ball 25 yards out, and then a wonderful strike into the bottom corner of the goal for the first goal of the match.
To your point, Gary, it's something that Westchester just have not been able to cope with basically from the opening minute of the game. Holstead again, Nodarse again rides the challenge. Pizzi Rodriguez, saw some magic from him in the first half in tight quarters, loses out this time. But again, Westchester struggling to try to find an avenue out. They give it away again here. Edge of the area, Noah Fuson, it's a lovely take. Can he get back on the other end of it? No, he cannot. And I think he committed a foul in the process there as well. Pierre does just about enough defensively.
A ball given away just because of that pressure. Noah Fuson does well to try and get around Bobby Pierre, but he just shields the ball as you're allowed to do. And Fuson ends up, according to the referee, of fouling him there by trying to lean into him and brings him down. Goalkeeper dives over both of them in the end. But it's just that the speed with which Rhode Island are counter-pressing. As soon as they lose the ball, they're sprinting to every Westchester player, and they just can't settle on the ball. You have to be really good under that pressure to play quick one-touch football and play yourself out of pressure. And Westchester just not used to it, and they're getting caught giving the ball away and losing possession in very dangerous areas.
Well, eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team. Play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Rhode Island get the foul. It's a free kick for the hosts here. And they're going to take it quickly, maybe too quickly, in the opinion of the referee. Rhode Island will have to do it again. Goals right at the end of the first half from Clay Holstead and then J.J. Williams. Have Rhode Island where they need to be, but they'd love to add on one or two more at least to help themselves in some of these tiebreakers. And even if Rhode Island don't win the group in the end, they still have to play one more game. They'd love to get some of those tiebreakers on their side for a potential wild card spot. It's a Rhode Island throw on this near side as Scardina keeps the hosts on it. 20 minutes plus stoppage time to play in Pawtucket. Again, they'll line up a long throw opportunity here with Clay Holstead, who tends to get them in the right spot from these kinds of positions. This is no different. It's right on the edge of the 6. Holstead gets a head onto it again. It's a side-winding swipe. And Marinelli makes the catch. And he'll outlet this up the other end. Rhode Island slightly caught out here. Can Westchester create? The shot is spurned over the top. There was a brief window of opportunity there. Looked like it was Dean Guzin. Was able to get the shot away. Could not hit the target. And now Rhode Island will prepare a substitution here. It's going to be Zach Harivo who comes on. And despite not getting a goal, Noah Fuson certainly had many positive moments in his 71 minutes and change. He departs.
Including hitting the crossbar from 25 yards out in the first half. Not a bad effort, but again, is it enough to get a regular starter in a team like Rhode Island that's stacked with talent? He certainly did okay, no, Fuson. But did he do well enough? I'm not so sure. But certainly he has the talent, so I wish him well for the rest of the season. I hope he can just keep that positive attitude on going, because when he gets his full form back that he showed a couple of seasons ago, as we mentioned, him on one wing, Jorge Quizera on the other, and J.J. Williams in the middle, that would be some combination.
Harivo gets right on the ball here for Rhode Island. Player who's been connected with Cotto Smith for so long. I remember talking with Cotto Smith last year about how he first met Zach Harivo when he was a very, very young kid. Cotto Smith is good friends with Zach's dad. Has trained Zach Harivo on and off for a vast majority of his career. That ricochets in behind. Oh, it's miscued by Karifa Yao. This could be the opportunity for Westchester. And as soon as I say that, Karifa Yao makes immediate amends and gets the challenge absolutely right.
That's good defending to recover from a mistake like that and to do it so quickly and do it correctly.
Up the other end, it ricochets just wide off the edge of J.J. Williams, who may have been offside anyway.
Yep, flag's gone up. Maybe he knew he was in an offside position. Game opening up a little bit, and why not Westchester at 2-0 down? This is the chance there, but look at the tackle. Timed it absolutely perfectly. And that's what makes him such a good central defender. He's got the pace there to catch up on Daniel Burko. But now I think Westchester have decided to open up. They're leaving bodies up front. A lot of space between the defenders and attackers. And they might get caught in the counter-attack. But you know what? Whether you lose 2-0, 3-0 is not going to make a difference. But get one goal back, Westchester, we might have a grandstand finish.
That was chested down. Oh, it's not definitively cleared here. Holstead can't get the head onto it. Pierre battling here for Westchester with 2 men on him. He sliced it towards the edge of the area. Then the cross into the middle. It's a free header right at Vegas. Well, that was a massive chance for Westchester here. And the header from Burko is saved by Vegas, who makes his biggest contribution so far tonight.
I think that's his only contribution so far tonight, but good to see Koke Vegas getting involved, and good to see Westchester on the front foot. When they attack, they've got some real good talent there down that left-hand side. Nice play, and Bobby Pierre, of all people, the defender, getting in there and causing all sorts of problems. So they can attack when they want to. Just want to see more of it, I guess, if you're Coach George Jokai.
Whether it's on the field or in the office, great teams need great coverage. Delta Dental of Rhode Island offers affordable dental and vision plans with top-rated customer service. Learn more at deltadentalri.com. It's something that George Jokai did mention to us. We are creating chances. He feels that the chance creation in the league has been there for the most part. They just have not finished nearly enough of their chances. And obviously that's reflected in the fact that they are one of the more lower goal-scoring teams in the league. Rhode Island here, score again. Rhode Island have had no such trouble. Leo Afonso off the bench makes it 3-0. And with 15 minutes left, that will seal all 3 points for Cano Smith's men in Prinx Tires USL Cup play.
Good play down the left-hand side here. Clay Holstead trying to get his breakthrough, but it goes to Aldair Sanchez. And he just gets that ball back from the line. Lovely cross. And as you said, Leo Afonso in the right position. Decent header. And yes, they'd thrown a few bodies up, so maybe it was man-to-man marking at the back. That was the risk they were going to take. And they were going to probably pay for it, and they did there with the quality of Leo Afonso. But Aldair Sanchez, great cross coming as he was stretching for that goal line.
Well, Afonso has scored twice in the league already this season. It's his first goal in the Cup. It's Rhode Island's third Capelli Sport goal of the night, and it should see off Westchester in the Cup. We just had talked about how Westchester had struggled scoring goals. Rhode Island have had not as much of a problem with that tonight.
Oh, they're a fabulous side, Rhode Island, as we say, 9th in the USL, but they're a team that should be in the top 4 and probably will be by the end of the season. They've made the playoffs 2 years running. They've got such quality, and they're always going to hurt Westchester. But, you know, they've defended really well, Westchester. They've had to come out of their shell to try and get a goal back, and it's left them vulnerable. The space is opening up now. They're getting carved up a little bit. But if you look at their defensive work first 60 minutes, it's been very impressive.
Well, Bowman tries to lead Westchester forward here. It's onto the far side. It's played square for McGlynn. His return to Rhode Island. Although, I should mention, didn't play here at Centerville Bank Stadium. Hadn't been fully built yet when he was a Rhode Island player. Westchester still probing here. The cross-field ball does find its way through, but again, Bowman and company can't quite control it, but they do win a throw-in on the far side. On the edge of the area, oh, it's played to the outskirts. And the shot was fizzed through to the edge of the 6. Rhode Island get a critical block onto that, and Westchester recycle the play.
Is that Connor McGlynn against his old side? He could just see the glory there for a moment, and unfortunately for him, the shot gets blocked.
Guzin again tries to switch it onto the far side, picks out a teammate. Connor McGlynn came back to get it initially, but it's Guzin who controls. Now McGlynn's on it, and then the referee stops it here. It's going to be a free kick. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day here on CBS Sports Golazo Network or on ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. A goal here from Westchester would certainly make it at least a little bit more interesting. From the set piece, the header comes out. It's going to be volleyed, and it's blocked by Bacharach on the edge of the 6. Still up for grabs here, edge of the penalty area. It's going to bounce out of play. It stays with the visitors.
And have a guess who wins the header at the back? None other than J.J. Williams coming back to do a job. Absolutely brilliant. How many crucial headers he has won at the back. What a great leap he has.
That ball is crossed in by Jennings. May have taken a deflection. Comfortable stop for Vegas. Holstead loops this over the top, over the halfway line. And now Rhode Island could be off to the races down this far side here. And then the pass in behind, the last pass needed to get into the penalty area is cut out. And that's going to deflect out for a Westchester throw, it appears, on the near side with about 10 minutes of normal time left. This is played over the top. And again, recovered really well by Bacharach, who, talk about doing a job, defends it really well and stops Makic from making some headway. It's a goal kick. Well, Miller Lite is a proud partner of RIFC. When it's game time, it's Miller time. 3 goals from 3 different Rhode Island goal scorers. Now Cano Smith's men very much on their way to 3 points, which would keep them alive in USL Cup play. As it stands, Westchester would be eliminated, certainly from winning the group tonight. Another cross into the middle. Williams again is the target. And I believe a foul has been committed against Rhode Island here. And it's going to be a Westchester free kick. And the medical staff, it appears, is going to be needed as well.
J.J. Williams getting a lecture from the referee, saying he comes in late, but he was just challenging for the ball. Maybe there's a little bit of an elbow in the back here as he comes in, but he's entitled to challenge for that ball.
Looked like the potential head injury here. It's Charlie Dickerson who is down in the heap. Actually comes from Dickerson hitting the shoulder, it looked like, of Zach Harivo after going up to challenge J.J. Williams.
We're talking, you can see J.J. Williams is going back to check him to make sure he's okay. And that's good to see. You're talking about the goal difference. These 3 goals will come in handy if they should end up level with Hartford, and that's going to be hugely dependent on that Hartford Cosmos game, because Hartford have Westchester at home final game, and you would think once again Westchester will make some changes and focus more on their league, so their league form. So very much a case of if Hartford beat Cosmos, then it's in their hands, theirs to lose. But doesn't mean to say Rhode Island can't be the best next place team, get the wild card.
Cano Smith's going to use the remainder of his changes here. Grant Stoneman, Kevin Vang, Jamin Gogo-Peters all come in. Karifa Yao, Clay Holstead, and Pity Rodriguez all make way here. I haven't seen a lot from Jamin Gogo-Peters since he was brought in. Only a couple of appearances here and there in all competitions. Also great to see Kevin Vang get a run out as well. When we've talked with Cano Smith over the years, Kevin Vang's name has come up. Doesn't always get playing time, of course. Rhode Island supporters will know that. But his effort, his energy, his leadership in training, day in and day out, has helped Rhode Island tremendously behind the scenes. And I'm sure Cano Smith is thrilled to give him some game time here in the Cup tonight. Well, AAA Insurance is proud to be the official home auto and life insurance of RIFC. It does appear that the game between the Cosmos and Hartford has restarted. Not from the beginning, but they're back in action. They're in the 33rd minute. Hartford lead 1-0 Cosmos out of League One are down to 10 men as well. By the way, the goal and the red card all happened before that game was brought to a halt. So when this game is over, I'm sure many supporters, particularly from Rhode Island, will be keeping an eye on that one as the night progresses in USL Cup play.
Yeah, then Rhode Island will have to turn their attentions back to league play. They've got Loudoun United away next game. Loudoun struggling this year, which is a surprise. Orange County home, Orange County, high flyers in the west, and then Sac Republic away, which is never an easy match. And that's a replay of their semi-final in this tournament last year.
And that was a feisty USL Cup semi, went all the way to penalties. Jared Mazzola, at the time was Sacramento's backup goalkeeper, made a couple of key saves. Sacramento swept the penalties. They won 3-0 from the spot to book a place in the final. Though, of course, they lost the final to Hartford Athletic. It's going to be headed into the penalty area. Harivo gives it a look, but Marinelli is there. As we tell you that Dave's Marketplace is proud to be an official partner of Rhode Island FC. It was quite the battle between the El Clamico rivals at the end of USL Cup group stage play last year. Hartford ended up winning a shootout here in Rhode Island to survive as one of the two wild card teams. Hartford, as we just mentioned, then went on to win the trophy at the end of the knockout phases. We'll see if there's more drama on tap between Hartford and Rhode Island at the end of this group phase as well. Time will tell. Offside flag goes up. It's a Westchester free kick. Hartford does host Westchester, final day of USL Cup group play in July. Rhode Island's final game is against the Cosmos at home. It's a switch out to the far side, a heavy coming together there with Jennings trying to make some headway on Sanchez. It is a throw-in to the visitors, who are running out of time here. Again, there was initially some link up there towards the edge of the area. Then a foul is going to be called. Vang does a bit of a somersault over the top. Rhode Island gets the free kick.
Yeah, Dean Guzan just bending his back there and forcing Vang up into the air.
Looking for flexibility and a great deal on RIFC tickets. Select 5 home games of your choice for the 2026 season with a custom 5-game plan. Visit RhodeIslandFC.com/tickets to lock in your 5-game plan today. Runs here. Leo Afonso did well. Cross is blocked. Chick-fil-A Attleboro corner on the near side.
Good little turn from Afonso there, so quick. Good defending in the end to block him. And this is all the sort of quality that Rhode Island bring to the party. And again, Westchester don't have to feel down about this. I thought they put in a really good performance, defended well at times, up against a team with a lot more quality. And they can learn from that and try and take it back into their battle for League One success.
Kevin Vang will take the corner. It's a decent ball. Play to the outskirts here. It's Sanchez! Oh, good save. Marinelli diving to his left, keeps it out. Rhode Island still have a chance here. Oh, and then the chance is skied by J.J. Williams. 2 really good chances, and somehow Westchester escapes.
It's a good save from Luca Marinelli. Aldir Sanchez hits us really well on the half volley. Keeper does brilliant to push it wide. Stays in play and then gets knocked back to JJ, who from there, he's put a lot of power into it. It's the power that's gone over the top, but normally you expect him to hit the target. So would he, hence the reaction. But again, just Rhode Island, just too good, creating too many chances, as they have the whole match. And it could very easily have been 4 or 5. I think 3-0 probably ends up being a fair reflection of the game because Westchester have battled well and defended well throughout the match.
That's a clumsy challenge there. Foul and a free kick. Puts Westchester back on the ball here. We're into the 90th minute here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And you mentioned it earlier, Gary. Key home games coming up for Westchester in League One. If they can win a couple of those, it'll look a lot different in those League One standings. No questions about that. And Rhode Island, of course, are trying to get back into the top 8 in USL Championship play. Although, like you said, pretty difficult schedule coming up.
Yeah, so important for Westchester. Seeing them here today, you have to think that they've got a chance of working their way up the table. They've got the talent. They've shown commitment. They've shown, defensive rigidity, and I think that's something that all teams need. They can defend in a low block, as they showed for the first 40 minutes against Rhode Island. So, yeah, the next match, Fort Wayne. Let's see how they do at home. But if they get a result there, the fans get excited. Then Greenville Triumph come to visit. Maybe a result, and then Portland Hearts of Pine. So go on, fans, come out and support them in these 3 home matches.
2 added minutes left. That's a good ball played into the middle here. And then on the layoff, it's McGlynn. Again, would love to have scored against his former club tonight, but that is well wide. Of course, if this result holds as well, which it appears it will, it'll likely go a full calendar year for Westchester, of course, with those home games coming up, without a road win in all competitions. That is something that George Jokai and this group would love to get off their backs as quickly as they possibly can. Here is Pierre striding ahead. His infield ball is cut out and cleared. Leo Alfonso now looking to clip this over the top. Kevin Vang gets on the end of this for Rhode Island. Vang, a couple of step-overs, lays it off for Scardina, whose shot is blocked. And it'll trickle out for a Rhode Island throw as we reach the final seconds. Stoneman for Bacharach. Maybe time for one more Rhode Island onslaught here. No Darce. Aldair Sanchez. Played it square. Comes back out for Stoneman. Scardina. Final seconds here. Rhode Island are going to get the attack off. They're going to have to get this into the penalty area. Harivo gets it back from Nodarce. Another chance here. Sanchez. How much time will the referee give Rhode Island here? Harivo. Harivo into the middle. And the header is nudged down. Sanchez looks to recover. Time for maybe one more attempt. Not quite. Full time in Pawtucket. A comprehensive, dominating win for Rhode Island in the Cup. They handle Westchester by a 3-goal margin for the second year in a row in Prinx Tire's USL Cup play. It keeps Cano Smith's men alive for potential progression into the knockout stages. 3 different goal scorers along the way, and now Rhode Island hope that Hartford stumbles later on tonight.
JJ Williams is taking a bit of a rest there, but you could see almost all the Westchester players went to the floor. They put in a hell of an effort here tonight. They were absolutely finished at the end from closing down Rhode Island, and credit to them for their defensive performances. But they're up against a fantastic Rhode Island side, stacked with talent, led by JJ Williams, and I think we all felt the result was going to be this sort of result, and it had some quality moments.
Well, one of them was the energy play of the game, presented by Rhode Island Energy. JJ Williams' header to make it 2-0.
How high he climbs here, look at that. Right up above the goalkeeper. It was a little bit blocked there by Petty Rodriguez. Clever play by Rodriguez. But JJ Williams, and it wasn't that. I picked out 3, maybe 4 times he got back in the box to win defensive headers. He was strong up front, held the ball up. Just had a fantastic game today.
So Rhode Island kept a clean sheet, similar to how they keep a clean sheet. Scandinavian Building Services keeps RIFC's home clean as well. That will certainly be a nice stat for not just the players, but for Cano Smith as well. Cano Smith's told us that he felt that they've been giving up odd goals here and there. A clean sheet will certainly help to rectify those things as well tonight, as Koke Vegas enjoys that. 3-0 is the final score in Pawtucket. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up after the break.
Tacos and soccer. I cannot think about a better combination.
Today we are in California Taco in Johnston. I'm a cheese lover, so I'm gonna go with the queso birria.
Birria quesadilla.
Oh yes, now we are talking. Okay, let's go, boys.
Well, it's good.
The birria is just a sauce, dipping it in, taking it out, and just that seasoning after. I enjoyed that.
The carnitas hard tacos were definitely one of a kind. Then I made my own.
I'm ready to go.
Show us what you got, Danny. Yeah, come in the kitchen with me, you know.
Lechuga, perfecto. Testing. Very good. The diop taco. Uy, uy, uy.
Hey. I have my taco. This is my taco. Bacharac taco. Hugo Bacharac taco.
I'm making some soft tacos for Koke. He's our goalkeeper, so I gotta take care of him on and off the pitch.
Thank you so much, Hamadi.
Of course, man.
Hamadi, the clients are getting impatient.
De Koke taco. Perfecto. La tostada española.
Very good.
Oh.
Vamos. The special salad.
Danny won with the presentation. I don't know with the flavor because la tostada española top level, but the presentation is better than mine, yeah.
That is a place that I would suggest you guys to come. Well, the final score tonight is brought to you by High Bar Physical Therapy. Rhode Island wins it 3-0 over Westchester. Cano Smith's men stay very much alive, I should say, in the Prinx Tires USL Cup for a potential spot in the next round. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey, our entire crew, back here to wrap things up with full-time highlights. We start with the opening goal from Clay Holstead.
Does so well, Clay Holstead, to win this ball, get turnover ball. Brian Vasquez just waiting there and tries to play the ball out. Holstead wins it and then steadies himself and tucks it right in the corner. That is a top-class turnover and a top-class finish.
That broke Westchester's resistance, and then very quickly one goal turned into two just a few minutes later.
Frank Nadase battling at the near post there. Ball goes up. Goalkeeper gets blocked a little bit by Petty Rodriguez. That allows J.J. Williams to out-jump him and get on the end of the ball. Look at the number 10. Just step in front of the goalkeeper there. Blocks him a touch. J.J.'s up and wins the header.
Just like that, 2-0 Rhode Island going into the half. Those were very key moments. Rhode Island really never lost control over the game after that, and that cushion would really help things stand up. Tonight's Save of the Game is brought to you by Centerville Bank. Make progress towards your goals with Centerville Bank, the official bank partner of RIFC. The great recovery challenge from Karifa Yao.
At the pace off making the error, you've got to get the tackle 100% right there, and he does that. He tackles Daniel Burko absolutely perfectly.
And then from there, Rhode Island would continue to press and probe and look for more chances. They would score again through the substitution of Leo Afonso.
Aldir Sanchez with the cross, Afonso with a header into the corner. Aldir Sanchez does so well to get that ball back with a bit of pace. And then as you see there, Leo Afonso just heads it right into the corner. Perfect finish and a perfect game all over for Rhode Island.
Easy as 1-2-3. Rhode Island wins it 3-0. You look at the full-time stats, and it really was a comprehensive victory. 26 shots to Westchester's 7, 8-1 as far as the big chances were concerned. And most importantly for Rhode Island, they were clinical, particularly at the end of the first half.
They were, because their expected goals only 1.5, so they got 3 goals out of that for the visitors. Westchester expected goals 0.35, so they had a couple of little half moments, 1 shot on target. All in all, they'll feel that, yes, they were outplayed, but they put up a really good fight here tonight.
Again, the result means Westchester are essentially out from making the knockout rounds. Rhode Island very much stay alive, and they'll hope that Hartford drop points tonight or on the final match day in the group. All that Rhode Island needed was a win. They get one, and they do so in dominating fashion. They beat Westchester by 3-0, and like we said, they stay alive in the race for the knockout phase in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. For Gary Bailey and our entire crew, Sean St. Jacques, saying so long from Pawtucket. Rhode Island wins it comfortably, 3-0 over Westchester. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.